Now, the reason that we are so animated about helping you to understand this is because we want you to understand that you are vibrational beings, you are source energy beings, you are God in physical bodies. And as you've come forth from this non-physical realm, a part of that consciousness has come into the personality that you know as you. That means there are potentially two vibrational aspects of you. Now, the reason we say two potential aspects, they're almost always without exception, are two vivid vibrational aspects of you. But you could, in your physical body, in any moment of time, be so vibrationally attuned to who you really are. You could be in a moment of rapturous love. And when you're doing that in your physical body, there is only one vibration that's happening. In other words, you bring your physical vibration into complete alliance or harmony or accord or allowing with the vibration of who you really are. So we want you to understand that every emotion that you feel, and there are lots of them all day long, every day, your emotions are your indication of these two vibrational aspects. The better you feel, the more you are in the proximity of who you have become. Now, hear that. We want you to understand it's not just who you were before you were born. It's who this part of you has become since you've been born, putting all of those things over there into this vortex of creation. Every time you ask, it's given. And it's given because the larger part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. And in order for you to have the manifestation that you want to call your reality, you've got to match up with what you've asked for, and you can't do it by looking at the absence of it. We want to get across to you in a way that you will always remember that when you don't feel good, when you're discouraged or depressed or overwhelmed or afraid, when you're worried, when you're angry, when you're fearful, when you have any of those negative emotions bubbling within you, what it means every single time is that your life caused you to expand, and right now you stubbornly aren't going. The larger part of you went to a newer, clearer, better feeling, more evolved, more expansive place, just like you knew you would cause to happen by your association with physical life out here on the leading edge. But you didn't go. You didn't take the bounce. You're still justifying why you want it. I really need these things I've asked for because I'm really sick. I'll pray for recovery from this awful thing that I have. We're beating the drum, can you tell? I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I've never had enough, I've never had enough, I've never had enough, I've never had enough. It's not fair that those others have so much. It's not fair that those others have so much. And what we want you to understand is that as long as you are still poking around at the vibration that has caused you to expand, you're going to feel awful because you're not letting yourself expand. You're stuck in what you call reality. And we want you to understand that everything that you see around you, every manifestation, your Earth spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, all of it was vibrationally happening first. All of it was in this vortex of creation first. All of it was a vibrational reality before it came into view by you. So the question that we really want to get to the heart of as we are chewing together today is, are you a cooperative or an uncooperative component? And here's an easy way to know it. If you're frisky, you're cooperative. If you're ornery, you're uncooperative. If you're happy, you're cooperative. If you're unhappy, you're uncooperative. If you're joyful, you're cooperative. If you're pessimistic, you're not cooperative. If you're ornery, you're not cooperative. If you're overwhelmed, you're not very cooperative. If you're fearful, you are so uncooperative. And many of you would say, but I have reason for my fear. And we say, doesn't matter. You're uncooperative to your own cause. But I have reason to feel this way. I've been watching CNN and I know what's going on. You want me to be oblivious? And we say to that, we want you to be oblivious to the things that make you feel ornery, that make you feel fearful, that make you feel unhappy, that make you feel pensive, that make you feel angry. We want you to be oblivious to them while you are aware of things that make you feel better. But we've never known anyone who could just withdraw your attention from something, because first of all, your attention to it is the reason it's close by, and the reason it's close by is the reason you're giving it your attention. Sort of a cycle of attraction. And have you noticed that cooperative components are being assembled around whatever attitude you have about anything? Do you know that you could pick some subject that you're really bothered by and start talking about it? And before you know it, other people, even strangers that you've never talked with about this before, would suddenly be talking to you about that. And then all kinds of evidence showing you that you are a cooperative component of unwanted things would begin showing up in your experience. This law of attraction is so consistent and will give you constant feedback about what's going on with you. So it is really true that you get what you think about. You are source energy, and a part of you came forth into this physical body. And when in this physical body, sorting through contrast, you ask for something more, the larger part of you becomes it. And this is the story that you want to give your attention to. We want you to understand that when you get it, that there is a vortex of creation that is spinning, that includes all that you are, that holds with it the energy of source. And when you take the time to line up with it, then you begin to understand that the only thing that is happening to you ever is that you are letting yourself be all that you've become or not. That really is the only story that's going on. Because if life hadn't caused you to expand, your not going would not make you feel negative emotion. The only reason that you ever feel negative emotion is because life caused you to cause the source within you to hold a different, broader, bolder, bigger, lovelier stance of being. And you, in your attention to whatever you're giving your attention to while you have negative emotion, is not letting you get up to speed with all that you have become. Creation, everything that you feel, every emotion that you feel, and everything that is happening to you is happening only because of your relationship with who life has caused you to become, and you're allowing it or not. So rather than spending a lot of time talking about all of these points of attraction that could be going on, there are people who are sick with this disease, and people who are sick with that disease, and people who are having this trauma and this trauma, all kinds of things happening in the scope of human events. You look around, you see it all. But none of that is consequential. What is consequential is this vortex and your relationship to it. If your vortex is spinning as it is, and you are holding yourself in fear or anger, you're so far from your vortex that there is a contradiction within you that has this really strong negative energy moving through you, and you don't feel good. When you get over into the vicinity of hope, closer to your vortex, you feel so much better because there's less resistance within you. And when you get into the vicinity of hope, your vortex will frequently take you in. And when you get in, oh, you're going to have a good ride. That's that feeling of elation. The best feeling in the world is moving into the vortex.